Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive edition of Entertainment Spotlight, where we dive deep into the scandals that shake the world of showbiz. Today, we're unraveling one of the most shocking moments in daytime television history: the infamous walk-off of Sir Patrick Stewart from Lorraine Kelly's beloved morning show. Picture this: it's a crisp autumn morning in London, October 15, 2025, and the ITV studios are buzzing with the usual pre-show energy. Cameras are being adjusted, makeup artists are powdering noses, and the audience is filing in, expecting a light-hearted chat about Sir Patrick's latest venture, a poignant memoir titled Shadows of Picard, Reflections on a Life in the Stars. The book, released just weeks prior, has been climbing bestseller lists, offering fans intimate glimpses into the 85-year-old actor's journey from the gritty streets of Mirfield, Yorkshire, to the captain's chair of the USS Enterprise. Sir Patrick, with his iconic bald pate gleaming under the studio lights and his piercing blue eyes full of that signature gravitas, strides onto the set with the poise of a man who's commanded Shakespearean stages and galactic bridges alike. Lorraine Kelly, the Scottish powerhouse who's helmed this show for over 3 decades, greets him with her trademark warmth, a hug, a laugh, and a "Sir Pat, you absolute legend." The audience applauds, the band strikes up a jaunty tune, and for the first few minutes, it's all smooth sailing. They banter about his early days in regional theater, the thrill of voicing the Avengers' most sarcastic billionaire, and even a cheeky nod to his unexpected TikTok fame, where clips of him reading bedtime stories in full Picard regalia have gone viral. But beneath to truly the surface, appreciate the magnitude of this meltdown, we must rewind to the man behind the myth: Sir Patrick Stewart, a titan whose career spans over 7 decades and whose voice alone can command a room or a starship. Born in 1940 in a modest terraced house in Mirfield, young Patrick grew up in the shadow of World War II's lingering scars. His father, Alfred, a decorated soldier haunted by the horrors of the front lines, brought home not just medals but a volatile temper that left indelible marks on his family. Stewart's memoir lays it bare: nights cowering under beds as shouts turned to shoves, a mother's quiet resilience, and a boy's escape into the pages of Dickens and the footlights of local amateur dramatics. It was here, in the dusty halls of the Mirfield Players, that the seeds of stardom were sown, a lanky teen with a booming baritone, reciting soliloquies to empty chairs. By 19, he was at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School, honing his craft amid peers who would become legends. But glory came with thorns. His 1966 marriage to Brienne Percival crumbled under the strain of touring, and a second union to Wendy Neal fared no better. It was the 1987 casting call for Star Trek that catapulted him to global icon status. Skeptical at first, he signed on for what he thought was a 6-week gig, only to helm 178 episodes, 4 films, and a cultural phenomenon. Off-screen, Stewart's activism shone. A vocal advocate for domestic abuse survivors through his charity, Overcoming, inspired by his own buried traumas. Divorced thrice, he found late-life love with Sonny Ozell in 2013, a jazz singer half his age whose melody softened his edges. Yet, at 85, retirement whispers grow louder. This memoir was meant to be a capstone, not a catalyst for conflict. Enter Lorraine Kelly, 66, the queen of cozy telly, whose eponymous show has been a staple since 1993, blending celebrity gossip with heartfelt human interest. The interview kicks off like a well-rehearsed symphony, with Lorraine easing into the waters of Stewart's storied past. "Sir Pat, your book has us all in tears. Tell us about that first audition for Jean-Luc Picard. Were you terrified?" she asks, her eyes twinkling with genuine curiosity. Stewart chuckles, launching into a vivid tale of producer Gene Roddenberry eyeing him dubiously. He said, "Can you do American?" I replied, "Yes, but only if it's French accented, like a Belgian chocolatier." The audience roars, and for 10 glorious minutes, it's pure gold. Reminiscences of co-stars like Jonathan Frakes, whose pranks involved fake Klingon opera blasts at dawn, and the surreal thrill of beaming down Teresa in gold lame. Lorraine interjects with flair, sharing her own geek-out moment. "I once dressed as Deanna Troi for a charity do, Betazoid curls and all."
Stewart's face lights up, prizing her impeccable shoulder pads.
They pivot to the memoir's lighter fare, his unexpected bromance with Chris Evans, forged over Avengers cameos, where Stewart taught the Captain America star to enunciate like Olivier. "He called me Gramps, but listened when I schooled him on iambic pentameter," Stewart quips, eliciting more laughs. Viewers at home tweet frenzy. #LorraineLovesTrek trends within minutes. But as the segment stretches toward its midpoint, Lorraine's tone shifts, subtly at first, like a cloud edging over the sun. She's briefed to humanize the icon, producers insist, tapping into the book's raw core. Patrick, your chapters on family. They're harrowing. Your father's violence. Did it make you fear fatherhood yourself? The question lands softly, but Stewart pauses, his smile tightening. He nods thoughtfully, recounting therapy breakthroughs in his 70s. How naming the pain freed him to direct his son's weddings without inherited shadows. And then, the dam breaks. It's 9:28 a.m., the red light blinks relentlessly, capturing every micro-expression as Lorraine, perhaps chasing that elusive viral clip, veers into treacherous territory. Patrick, be honest. Has the arrogant Brit label stuck because of your bluntness? Insiders say you once called a co-star unteachable on X-Men sets. The accusation hangs like smoke, drawn from a 2017 tabloid blind item that's long been debunked but resurfaces in clickbait corners. Stewart's face, usually a mask of equanimity, cracks, jaw set, fingers drumming the armrest. The audience shifts uncomfortably. A few gasps ripple through. Lorraine, that's not just inaccurate, it's insulting, he retorts, voice low but laced with steel, the kind that once thundered Claudius across Stratford stages. I've built bridges, not burned them. Ask Hugh Jackman, he'll tell you I taught him to growl like a proper Wolverine, not belittle him. Lorraine, sensing the skid, attempts recovery. Oh, come now, it's all in good fun, legends have thick skins. But her laugh rings hollow, and Stewart isn't buying. He glances off camera, where producers fidget, whispering into earpieces. The memoir's preface echoes unspoken. Vulnerability isn't an invitation for vivisection. Emboldened by years of advocacy, Stewart rises, not abruptly, but with deliberate grace, like a king reclaiming his throne. I've shared my scars today, but I won't be caricatured as some haughty has been. Thank you for the platform, but this conversation has veered into disrespect. The words land like a photon torpedo. Lorraine's mouth opens in fish-like shock, hands fluttering. Patrick, wait, she stammers, but he's already striding toward the wings, pausing only to wave curtly at the stunned crowd. The band, caught off guard, fumbles into an awkward sting, a mangled make-it-so fanfare that falls flat. Cut to black for ads, but the feed lingers a beat too long. Lorraine's flushed cheeks, a stagehand's hurried clap-off. The fallout from Sir Patrick's exit is nothing short of seismic, rippling through tabloids, Twitter spheres, and even Parliament's cultural committees within hours. ITV's switchboards light up like a Christmas tree. Viewers split between "good for Pat," cheers, and "Lorraine was just doing her job" defenses. The Guardian runs a front-page op-ed, "When probing becomes poking, the ethics of celebrity therapy on air," quoting Stewart's past praise for Lorraine's insightful touch in their 2023 chat, now bittersweet irony. Daily Mail, true to form, splashes, "Diva or done wrong." Stew's snub shocks Scotland, with pap shots of Lorraine consoling a tea-toting assistant. Sir Patrick, holed up in his Bloomsbury flat overlooking Russell Square, issues a measured statement via his publicist. "I respect Lorraine's craft immensely. Today's exchange simply crossed into personal territory I'm not prepared to litigate live." The memoir speaks for itself. Let's discuss the healing, not the hurt. Subtext screams volumes. Back off. Celebrities weigh in. Sir Ian McKellen, his X-Men foil and lifelong mate, tweets, "Gandalf approves. Speak your truth, my dear Patrick. #HobbyTwalkoff." Whoopi Goldberg from The View perch cackles. "Picard's got more spine than half of Hollywood. Lorraine, honey, read the room." Even non-Trek titans chime. Judi Dench, in a rare Insta Live, muses, "Darling Pat's too polite for tantrums, but wise enough for withdrawals."
Andy.
On the flip side, some critics carp. The Sun's Kelvin Mackenzie opines, "Soft snowflake era, back in my day, guests toughed it out." Ratings. A paradox. Lorraine's show spikes 40% post-incident, voyeurs tuning for tea-spilling sequels, but long-term loyalty waivers. Petitions for empathy training for hosts garner 50,000 signatures overnight. Behind closed doors, ITV brass convene emergency powwows. Memos fly. No more deep dives without waivers. As the argument intensifies, Cruz reportedly removes his microphone in a dramatic flourish, declaring Behar's questions as religious bigotry and a witch hunt, before storming off the set amid gasps from the live audience. 9C35906A4E44. The footage, shared across YouTube channels like the narrator, Amas T.